Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Untrained Experts podcast. I'm Dakota, and I'm 27 years old. Been watching MMA since the mid-90s or late 90s, ever since I was a kid. Just always been a fight fan, and this is going to be our first podcast talking about MMA. Like I said, I'm 27 years old. I got a 5-year-old little boy, and I'm just a fan of the fight game. We work at Cooper Tire, building tires, and I'm here with my co-host, Jordan.
What's up, guys? I'm also a tire builder, tire assembler, whatever you want to call it at Cooper Tire. I'm also a personal trainer. I love working out in my free time. I've been following MMA basically my whole life as well. And we're just here to talk about some fights. You know, we're not MMA fighters. We're not professionals. You know, nothing like that. But we love the fight game. We love to talk about it. And you guys want a little bit more insight on us? You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, wherever. We'll leave it down in the description. But you want to talk about some fights?
I'm down, man. Let's go. Also, we're not professionals, so we got a long ways to go. We got a lot of learning to do.
We're untrained. We're just here to talk about fights and the fight game and what's going on right now.
We'll talk about some UFC 235. Start with the prelim card. We had Diego Sanchez and Mickey Gall. Diego got a second round TKO. Dude, he looked good, man.
Bro, Diego, I mean, for his age, how old is he?
I think he's like 40, close to 40, if not.
He's a monster.
Dude.
Did you see what he was saying at the end?
He
said something like, I'm gonna just dog you. I'm gonna dog you no matter what.
Oh, yeah?
Like, I'm gonna keep coming at you. I'm gonna keep coming at you. I'm gonna keep coming at you. I was
dude,
like, dude's still a savage at that age.
Dude, he looked...
Gall's no joke either.
He looked like the old Diego. Yeah. Like, he came out ready to go.
It's man. Like, did this dude go back in time? Like, what's going on? That's what I was wondering.
It was crazy, man. Like, he lived up to the nightmare moniker that he has.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly want to see like what else he can do still. I mean, it don't matter how old you are if you're fucking putting dudes down like that.
For real, man. Like, it makes you wonder. Like, you see some fighters that get to that age and they just can't. They can't do it anymore. Like, they go on a losing streak, and it's sad to see, man. Like,
man, it's obviously he's taking care of himself, you know.
Yeah, like BJ Penn, dude. His record is so bad now. He used to be one of the best.
Man, I don't want him to end up like Chuck Liddell.
Oh, yeah.
I do not want to see him get thrashed in this fight coming up. And
I know.
Who's he fighting against? I really don't remember.
Damn, I don't either. We'll look it up here in a minute.
Yeah.
Look that shit up, Jamie.
We're gonna have to have our own Jamie.
Yeah. Shout out to Rogan. Yeah, dude. I'm excited to see what Diego does, man. I think he's in a good place now. You know, if he keeps winning like that,
he's in good shape, man.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, he's not taking on age like most of these guys have. What about Johnny Walker? What did you think about that
dude,
fight?
Johnny Walker's a monster.
I mean,
he's a beast.
No joke, bro. I could see him being the guy. Now, one segment we're thinking about doing on the pod is dream matchups at the end of everything, of every pod. You know, for that.
Yeah.
So, you know, honestly, my dream matchup right now is Johnny Walker versus John Jones.
Yeah.
Like, I know everybody says he's not ready, and I agree. He does need to fight a couple more times and go through a couple more guys, obviously, because I mean, there's some tough guys out there.
Well, Misha Cirkunov was supposed to be his toughest matchup. He hasn't really fought any like high caliber guys yet, and this guy was. You gotta
give him those high caliber guys.
This was supposed to be the one, and he dismantled him.
Exactly, he made him look like a nobody.
1 minute. No, not even 1 minute. 36 seconds.
If you just go watch how he's knocked guys out and how the way he moves, it's a John Jones type of guy. I mean, he reminds me so much of John Jones. It's insane.
He's long. He has crazy reach.
Yeah, and exactly. He knows how to keep the distance.
Let's lay off on the celebrations a little bit, but
yeah. What did you blow a shoulder out?
He did something. I don't know if he strained it or just,
rotator cuff or something.
Yeah, popped it out of the socket or something. I mean, I think he's got
dislocated his shoulder. I think is what they.
Is that what they said?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's crazy. I mean, I understand you're that happy, but you got to be more careful, bro.
Yeah, he always
does. You don't want injuries like that. You know what I mean? That affects you.
He always does the same celebration too, where he tries to do the worm from like standing up, like fall on your face. Like, bro, come on now.
You got to come up.
Jump on the cage, bro. Climb over the cage.
I mean, that's the thing. He's wild, bro. That's what's getting him noticed. You know. And
yeah.
It's funny. His name's Johnny Walker. Like, tell me he doesn't need a Johnny Walker sponsor, bro. He wears Johnny Walker shirt out there.
Super white guy name for a Brazilian, like.
Right.
After that, we had Jeremy Stevens, Zabit.
You know, I'm kind of with Brendan Schaub on this one, man. Zabit, I mean, he's 17-1, bro. He's a badass dude.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, and I mean, but with what we've seen from him and what his caliber's supposed to be, in that fight with Jeremy Stevens, I don't think he looked as good as he should look.
It was a lackluster performance, to say the least.
To me, he looked overrated in that fight. You know what I mean?
I thought Jeremy Stevens probably should have won the decision. Honestly, I mean, I felt like Jeremy Stevens controlled the fight more. He landed more power shots. Me scoring it personally, you know, obviously I'm not a professional, but I gave round 1 to Stevens, round 2 to Zabit, and then round 3 to Stevens. And I mean, it was close. It would have been, you know, maybe even a draw.
Yeah, it was very close. And that's just the thing about Zabit. He's like he's a flashy fighter.
Yeah,
he's real flashy. So like, it's almost like some of these judges, you know, if he might not have even struck as much as Jeremy Stevens, but like the shots he did hit look so good, and the stuff he does, like jumping off the cage, stuff like that, you know.
He's definitely
stuff like that will, you know, get you far.
Yeah, he definitely gets your attention, and people like that aren't really that knowledgeable about the skills it takes to fight and stuff like that. That catches their attention, and then they want to, you know, give him more points or whatever.
Exactly.
Well,
so, man, this Cody Garbrandt Pedro Munhoz fight.
Cody.
I don't even know what to say about Cody. You know, I mean, to be fair, he's only got technically 2 losses, you could say.
Yeah.
TJ dismantled him.
TJ just has his number.
And after TJ got him that first time, I think it really discouraged him because he had TJ in that fight. You know, if he fought smarter in that fight, he could have easily beat TJ in that first fight. He had a totally different outcome right now in his career.
He had him hurt in the second fight too.
Yeah, he had him hurt in the second fight. That's the thing. He's making bad decisions. He's a great fighter, but he's making bad decisions. You know, when he needs to be those clutch moments, he's making really bad decisions, going after guys. You know, and a professional fighter, think about like an Anderson Silva or even a Conor McGregor or somebody like that. If you get headbutted or something like that, you don't just get angry and like see red and start swinging on somebody like that, because any smart fighter is not going to do that. Yeah. You're going to get knocked out. You're not smart for that. Pedro Munhoz can take a hit, and you should have known that going into the fight that dude could take a hit.
Yeah, he's a veteran.
If you go watch any of his old fights, he could take a hit. The dude has a chin on him. So if you think you're just going to knock him out swinging on him like that, it's not going to happen. He's gonna outsmart you in that type of fight, and I don't think Cody's smart for doing that. I don't think he's smart at all. I think he has, in my eyes, he has one more chance. You know, his next fight. I wonder who he'll. I'm not sure who they'll put him with next.
I don't know.
There's a couple options, but you know, his next fight, he's really gonna have to show up if he wants to get back to ever being the title holder again.
I thought this was going to be the one, man. I'm a Cody Garbrandt fan.
Back too. I honestly saw him bouncing back.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Cody Garbrandt. I've always liked him. I've wanted him to win the TJ fights, and
he's 11-0, bro, and he was the champ. He's already been the champ.
Yeah,
and he's so young. He's your age, bro.
What was he, 25 when he won the title?
Yeah,
or something like that.
Age, yeah, he's your age right now, and he's
only got 3 losses. I mean, that's...
And 2 of them to the same guy.
Yeah, 2 to the same guy. So it's not like his career's over. He could, take off from this point and, win everything from here on out. He could completely change the game from
100%,
where he's at now.
He is that good. He is that good of a fighter.
Oh, yeah.
The dude, he gets angry. He's got to learn how to control his emotions.
He's got the skill, man. He just, he sees red and he tries to go for the kill, and you got to, go to what you know.
Exactly.
Don't just bite down on your mouthpiece and start swinging, because it's not going to end well.
Not ever. So, I really want to talk about Ben Askren and Robbie Lawler.
Yeah.
There's a couple of controversial things going on this fight card. With the Ben Askren Robbie Lawler thing, Robbie was not getting out of that choke, in my opinion.
No.
He was that bulldog choke. And Ben Askren is a strong guy. Yeah. Been wrestling his whole life. He was not letting your neck go.
No,
you were not going anywhere. The fact that you got put in that position, and people can say that the fight should have stopped when Ben was getting nailed on. But what's funny is all they want to do is say, let the fight go on until one of their favorite fighters loses or somebody wins that they don't want to win. And then it's like, whoa, why did they stop the fight? Well, you know what? Ben looked fine to me after he got up. He's tough, obviously.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
they're smart for not stopping the fight.
And he kept his head moving. He kept reaching, trying to get a grip on Robbie. He wasn't just stiff.
Robbie had a chance to knock him out. If he was going to knock him out, he should have knocked him out right there.
Yeah.
And you lost your chance. You let him get back up, and you know what? He's a legit wrestler. That's exactly what he's gonna do. Everybody knows that. He's coming straight for your neck. He's coming straight for. He's taking you to the ground easily, and that's what he did with Robbie had him up against the cage and got him in that bulldog choke, and you screwed up. And I've seen the pictures and the videos of Robbie having a thumbs up. But if you watch it live, it looks like, who's the ref?
Was it
Herb Dean?
Was it Herb Dean?
Yeah, Herb Dean was the ref, and he picks.
Yeah, that's right. It was Herb Dean.
He picks up his arm, and it just drops.
It did.
And he waits a couple seconds, and there was even
he even shook it.
There was even people on the outside, close to the cage, saying that Robbie wasn't really moving or anything.
Yeah.
So to me, he ends that fight, and as soon as Ben Askren lets go, everything rushes back to him, and his adrenaline, everything comes back, his oxygen, everything. You know what I mean? He didn't get 100% choked out, but he was not. He was about to go to sleep.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? He was not getting out of that.
If it would have stayed longer, I mean, with Ben Askren's skill and technique, he easily could have just, readjusted his grip and got lower, got on the neck, and then it's over.
That's the thing. His grip wasn't even where he wanted it, and he still was not letting go of that choke. He was gonna choke you until you tapped.
And he had the better position. He was on his feet instead of being more on his knees. Yeah, it was definitely going to be over. And with 2 minutes to go, there's no way Robbie could have survived. Could have held on and just fought through it.
No way. And to me, I freaking love watching Robbie Lawler fight.
He's a monster.
One of the toughest dudes I've ever watched. And to me, Robbie Lawler gets fight of the night every time he fights.
Oh yeah.
The dude just comes out there and just goes hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He puts on a show. Like the way he hits, it's just like bombs.
The Rory McDonald fights when him and Roy fought, those were. It was just crazy.
Bro, it's just mayhem in there. When Robbie comes in there, I can't wait to see him fight again. I don't care if he lost that. I honestly love to see him fight again. I really would love to see them fight again.
Oh yeah.
But that, I also want to see Ben Askren.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it, but I think
maybe down the road.
Yeah,
After Askren makes his run or whatever he's going to do, if Askren loses his next fight, somehow screw it. Yeah, let him fight Lawler again.
Not an immediate rematch, I don't think.
I don't think either, because especially with for the UFC, it's not smart for them to let. Dana White said he wants them to fight again. Yeah. But Ben Askren, the cards are kind of in his hands right now.
But Dana also doesn't like Ben, and they don't really get along, and he knows that that's a tough matchup for.
Ben Askren said he loves Robbie Lawler. He didn't want to fight him from the beginning because he likes him so much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He didn't want. He took that fight because it's a big name and he's trying to get known in the UFC. Mm-hmm. But he didn't want to fight Robbie. So if you didn't want to fight a guy to begin with, what makes you think that you want to fight him again?
Yeah, Ben Askren's, I've been watching some of his Instagram videos. The dude's hilarious. He just goes on there and calls everybody out.
What's funny is after that fight, bro, on Twitter, he was like quoting people and retweeting their stuff, and like he quoted one guy and was putting like crying emojis and all that stuff, like talking about the guy was complaining about how Robbie wasn't out or whatever, and he was just talking mad shit.
Yeah. He did a video. I don't know if it was yesterday or I think I saw it yesterday, where he crushed 2 watermelons in his arms, like showing his grip. Like he said,
that grip strength. Oh my god.
He was talking about, I don't forget who, talking about somebody, how they so and so can crush 1 watermelon. Well, let's see if I can do 2. And he picks up, like, bear hooks 2 watermelons and just squeezes them until they both crush.
Bro, speaking of that, have you seen the video? I just saw it today. Have you seen the video? There's this girl who puts some like in between her thighs.
I've seen it. She has some huge thighs too.
Yeah, and they're like super muscular. Yeah. The video I watched, she's laying down and puts them under her, like 2 watermelons, like basically like in between her legs, and just like
crosses her feet and like squeezes together.
Squeezes and boom, watermelons just freaking explode.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. Bro, super CrossFit chick. I don't
understand how people do that.
It's crazy.
But if we move on, Kamaru Usman, Tyron Woodley, man, this is. I'm not gonna lie. Out of all these fights, I was right about every one of the winners besides this one.
Yeah.
And I was very disappointed because Tyron Woodley is. I thought he was the baddest dude in that division.
Yeah.
I watched a few Usman fights, and I love the way he fights. But I personally, I'm one to blame as well, because you know, I didn't look at Usman that much. You know, I didn't think he was as good as he was.
Yeah.
You know, and you know now I know. I mean, Usman really showed up in that fight, but also I think something was wrong with Woodley. You know, there was something. The dude looked like he was stoned. He looked like he was like half asleep in the fight. He did not look like. I mean, normally Woodley comes out swinging. And, you know, it's a stupid excuse to me the way I've seen him on interviews and stuff since then where he's like, yeah, I just felt like a bad dream. Sometimes it's like that. I don't get that. I mean, also, I've never fought in a fight like that, so I can't necessarily comment on that. But to me, it almost just sounds like a stupid excuse.
Yeah, for somebody with
you didn't show up, you didn't show up. Like, you kind of got dominated in that fight. So, I mean...
Yeah, with somebody with
I'd love to see... I mean, if Woodley really was just having an off night, I want to see him back up there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Sure.
I want to see him fight Usman. But the thing is, he's going to have to go through somebody else.
Yeah, with somebody with your credentials and the experience that you have, it's kind of like you can't just blame it on felt like a bad dream. You know, he never looked like himself.
Yeah, with how good you are, you can't do that. And to me, it's like maybe it's the other stuff in his life, like they've been saying, you know, like him rapping and all this other stuff going on.
Well, you know, that was the first thing I said to you after we watched it that night. You know, I was like, you have to wonder if the TMZ show and the MMA Today or MMA Tonight,
on other crowd.
Yeah, and the rap album and you know everything that he does outside of the UFC, you got to wonder if that takes a toll on him because I mean, even in his last few fights, aside from Darren Till, he hasn't really looked like himself. You know,
not at all.
All right, ESPN.
Get out of here, notification.
Yeah. Like I just felt like he hasn't looked like himself in a while. You know, even I mean with
he's been acting a little bit different, and I mean you could just tell from that fight he was not the same fighter, and I don't want that to be where he goes. You know what I mean? Like I want to continue to see him dominate and get back up there, but if he's not going to put 100% of his focus in it, then you know what I mean. Don't fight. That's the way I look at it. You've done a lot. Like he's accomplished so much. He's Hall of Fame to me, UFC, and.
I kind of feel like it may be his time to go up to 185. He was wanting to get the belt back and then go to 185, but man,
yeah, that was originally his plan.
I think at this point, just let the division roll how it is for now. You know, you can always go back to 170 if you really want to later on, but go to 185.
I'd like to see him fight at 185.
Yeah,
I mean, imagine how stout he'd be.
Look how big he is now. I mean, he goes to 185.
He's gonna be stout.
Oh my god,
shredded probably. I mean.
Speaking of that,
I love Woodley as a guy. He's a cool guy. But
speaking of 185, I saw where Luke Rockhold is out. He just had surgery on his knee, I believe, and then he's preparing to go to 185. No, he's preparing to go to 205.
Really?
Yeah, he's going to 205 whenever he recovers and comes back.
Who could he fight at 205?
John Jones. As bad as I want to see John go to heavyweight. That's a good fight.
Oh, that's such a good fight.
That's a really good fight.
Rockhold's just.
I don't know if he can.
I don't know if he still has it like that.
Yeah, I don't know if he wants to smoke with John Jones, but I mean,
I'm not against it. I'm down. At this point, bro,
I'll watch it.
See anybody fight John Jones. Like I'm right at this point, we're all just waiting to see if anybody can beat the guy. He's like at this point, he's a Floyd Mayweather of boxing. I mean, he looks like nobody can beat him. You know, I think it happened in the fight game, but he's so scary in there that these guys get so intimidated when he does little stuff that they've never seen.
Yeah.
Because he's that good of a fighter.
Unless
he does stuff that nobody else in the fight. I mean, he's the top of the chain when it comes to reading you and keeping that distance and everything you need to do. He's a genius with it.
Unless you're Anthony Smith's corner, who feels like they've seen it all.
Bro, that made me so mad. Like the whole time, you've seen it all. Like, what are you doing?
I don't think you've seen half of it.
You're a coach. Yeah, like you're a coach. You're supposed to guide your fighter throughout the fight. He's already combobbled trying to keep everything together. You're supposed to let him know after those rounds what he can possibly do.
What he can do better, what he can change.
And after round 2, they should have had some kind of advice for him, bro. He's getting dominated.
Break out the trick plays, bro. Let's run something.
You know what I mean? Try to do anything. You know what I mean? There's something you can do.
Yeah, we gotta come up with something. Fake an injury and try to knock him out like Derek Smith or Derek Lewis.
Yeah, bro. Derek Lewis. Oh man, Derek Lewis when he faked I mean, he wasn't faking the injury because that hurt. I promise you. Derek Lewis is the type of guy that he's never been able to take body shots ever. That's something. And that's really his weakness. Once guys, everybody knows.
And cardio.
Yeah, right. Everybody knows that now. And Derrick Lewis is a bad motherfucker.
Yeah.
He really is. And, I can't imagine getting hit by that guy. It's like a Tyson punch. I mean, he hits super hard. But JDS has been in the game for a long time. And he's super smart. And he's beat guys like Cain Velasquez. He's beaten really tough guys. And to me, JDS is just, I can see him raising back up to the top of the heap when it comes to heavyweight. That's why I'm ready for them to figure out something with DC, John Jones, because I really want to see what the heavyweight division has,
Yeah, with John, man, I think it's time. I think he just needs to go to heavyweight. He's already, he got his title back. He's defended a couple times. As much as I'd like to see him fight Johnny Walker, he owns the division right now. Like, I don't think anybody beats him. I don't think Johnny Walker's ready for that fight.
That's what I'm saying is, like, John Jones needs to go up to heavyweight because to me, that's the only time he's going to lose. Like, I really do not see him losing at light heavyweight unless somebody like a Johnny Walker, somebody really, really talented comes up and can find a way to beat him.
I think Johnny Walker could be the guy down the road, but I don't think he's ready. I don't think he's fought that level of a fighter yet, Yeah. As good as he is and the crazy stoppages and everything, but John Jones is just so well-rounded. He does everything so well, and he's got so many weapons. I don't know if I don't see anybody beating him right now, and even at heavyweight, I'm not sure who beats him, honestly.
I really don't, and at that's the thing, at heavyweight, you don't really know. He's never fought there. So we need to see him fight there first.
The DC fight's fun at heavyweight because, he's got the extra weight. He can, put a little more weight behind his punches and everything. But
exactly, and DC's been there and he's dominated there. So,
John's also beat him twice.
I know. It's crazy. Like, that's the, as much as I'd like to see just for the entertainment, DC versus Brock, to me, that's not going to be that great of a fight.
Yeah. I don't think that happens.
And Brock is a steroid raging monster. But, I still think DC is going to dominate him.
Yeah.
Cain Velasquez dominated Brock Lesnar. It didn't come down to size always.
Yeah, DC
is strong. He will take Brock Lesnar and he will slam him on the ground and he will choke him out if he has to.
And he can strike.
He can 100% do that. Cain Velasquez made Brock Lesnar look like a little punk. So, anybody, if he can do it, I know DC can do it.
You want to go over?
DC and John Jones. If we could see them fight again at heavyweight, it's pointless for them to fight at light heavyweight. We know what the outcome is. It's not going to be the same or any different the third time around. So
yeah, I think John
DC
has his
John
number.
At heavyweight would be a better fight.
Yeah,
because John's not used to holding on to more weight.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It might slow him down a little bit if he goes up to heavyweight.
Might make him stronger.
Yeah, or it might turn.
Might give him the reason.
Now, I don't know.
Might give him the reason to go back to powerlifting.
Right. There's no telling, man. But that's another reason I want to see him go up, man. It's just it'd be the most entertaining thing ever to see John Jones go up to heavyweight, and I think you should do that.
Yeah, it'd be a good look. I want to see it happen. Hopefully sooner rather than later. I think he's kind of wasting his time at light heavyweight.
Yeah,
there's nobody's going to beat you there.
He said he wants to defend the title. He talked about Johnny Walker and other guys, and he said he wants to continue to defend it. But in my eyes, it's just like, why? You can always go back down, go up to heavyweight and see what you're made of, really.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If you really want to prove that you're the best to all of us and that nobody out there is better than you, go up to heavyweight and dominate.
Test yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Go up to heavyweight and dominate if you can do it. What do you think about Anthony Smith and Gustafson?
Man, I'll watch it all day long.
Yeah, me too.
I like Gus.
Gus is a great fighter.
Yeah,
he really is. Like
he's top three.
Especially that first fight against Jones. This next fight around, it kind of worries me because John Jones almost looks like more of an animal than he was before.
Yeah, definitely.
Like I don't know what to think about him. Also, Gustafson was off for a while too.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't really had any fights.
Gus impressed me in that fight just for what he was able to land and what he could do, but it's just John is just
he's a different animal. And like some of these, like the Gustafson's quote. He was being very insecure with himself. It seemed like
that's how I felt.
Saying if he loses to Anthony Smith, then
maybe he doesn't have it anymore.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't have it anymore. You can't talk about yourself like that. If you're already that like non-confident going in, you can't win the fight. There's no way. You can't think about yourself like that. You have to go in there and you're thinking you're the same animal and like, screw it, I'll make it back to John Jones. Have that fire in you or you're not going to win the fight. Anthony Smith is that type of guy, though. Anthony Smith is that type of guy. He has that fire in him, and he's not letting go of that fire no matter what. He's not going to be insecure with himself. He's not going to lose confidence. He's going to go in every fight the same, and he's going to do his fight. So, I'm kind of worried about that.
He's a tough dude, man.
If Gustafsson goes into the fight like that, I think Smith's going to dominate. But if Gustafsson goes into the fight like he's supposed to, and like he normally would, I think he could easily beat Anthony Smith. That's how good Gustafsson is.
Smith's a tough dude, man. He can take a punch. Obviously, we saw that with the John fight. I mean, everything John threw, he was just soaking it in and just kept coming. And he wasn't really. I mean, obviously he got outstruck. Like I think it was the card or at the end of the fight, it showed like 202 to 35 strikes. But I think John landed 135 significant punches to 36 significant punches.
That's insane numbers. Like a normal like two guys of the same caliber fight each other. That like they're pretty close in numbers usually.
Yeah,
when
definitely.
It comes to strikes. Like I want to say Dillashaw, Garbrandt, their fights are always close in striking.
Yeah.
So I mean that's just domination. I mean what else is there to say about it? The dude doesn't get hit.
Yeah,
what I mean?
Yeah.
No wonder he's in such good shape.
It was a 5-round domination. I mean, Yes, it went 5 rounds, and John wanted to finish it, and he just. I mean, Smith's just tough, man. He could just take the beating.
Yeah, I mean,
that's how. I mean,
respect to him though. Like, I like Anthony Smith too.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
After this fight, I like him even more because he could have easily took a what's it called? No contest. He could have easily taken a no contest with that knee to the face, But he understood that the rules were very confusing at the time, and he understood that he doesn't want to go out like that. You don't want to go out like a punk.
It's still confusing.
You don't want the belt, and you don't want to say John Jones lost or anything like that because of some stupid illegal knee.
Yeah.
And he continued to the fight. He took his L, and much respect to him for that for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's a confusing thing because this is in Las Vegas. You go over to California, that's a legal knee. I mean, it's so.
Yeah, well,
it's a gray area.
You can't expect these fighters to be that perfect if you're changing up the rules.
Yeah,
like that, and the rules are different in other places. Like that's
I mean, his
right to me.
John's last fight when he fought Gustafsson was supposed to be in California, and it got moved to. No, it was supposed to be in Las Vegas, and it got moved to California last second.
All because of the commissions.
So, I mean, that's even more confusing because, if you're looking at the rules for Las Vegas and your last fight was supposed to be in Las Vegas, and then that knee is legal in California where your last fight actually takes place, it's a confusing thing.
Yeah, I can definitely see why John Jones would be confused. I mean,
it should be unified.
Like, he's a good fighter, but you can't expect him to remember all that stuff.
Yeah, it should be unified over all states. I mean, you shouldn't be able to pick and choose what rules you want to follow and what.
Yeah, it's not. It's not like the NFL can do that, or you know what I mean. It's not like every game you play has different rules. It shouldn't be like that. The fighters should have the same rules, and they should, maybe once a year the rules can be updated and the fighters can remember the rules, but. This throughout the year changing the rules and having different rules here and there, and that's way too confusing for these fighters.
Real quick before we get off John Jones, what do you think about Brazilian Thor, Thiago Santos and John Jones?
Ooh, man. Well, Thiago knocked out Anthony Smith, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
He's a monster.
Yeah, he's a beast.
I've never watched a Thiago fight where I wasn't like, this dude is a savage.
Yeah.
So that fight to me that's the only fight left. At light heavyweight.
Yeah, at this point,
the only fight I see. Like after that fight, if John Jones could dominate him, he needs to go up to heavyweight.
Yeah, definitely.
100%. But I think that would be a super entertaining fight. I could see that fight going 5 rounds, but I could also see that fight ending in the first round. So you never know what's going to happen in that fight.
When they're that big, you never know what's going to happen. I mean, there's so much power behind those punches, and I mean, John Jones is so skilled. I don't think he really has too much of a problem with Santos, honestly. I think it's, I think he just has too many skills. He has too many, his long reach, he can keep him away when he needs to with the kicks like he did Anthony Smith. His reach was so much longer. They're like the same height and his reach was so much longer.
Yeah.
Like a 9-inch reach advantage in that fight. So every time Smith came up, he would just, throw a side kick and push him away.
He can't even get to him.
Yeah.
Literally, unless Smith just comes in and just dogs it.
He did land that one head kick. Well, kind of. I mean, John kind of blocked it, but I mean,
he had some good hits on John.
Yeah, it was there. I've never seen anybody really get that off on John before.
No, he's usually ready for all that.
All right, this past weekend we had the UFC Fight Night 146. And we're not gonna really talk about all these, I don't think. Beneil Dariush had a second round submission, which was pretty crazy. Then you had Nico Price, Tim Means.
Man, Nico Price, Tim Means. That's one of the most entertaining fights. I think that's one of the most entertaining fights I've seen in 2019 so far.
Yeah, it was for it to only last one round. I mean, there was 10 seconds left in the round.
Exactly.
In the first round, but I mean, it was a very entertaining round.
Yeah, I mean, Nico. I mean, dude, they were welling off on each other.
Yeah.
But Nico is
Tim Means was winning
guy.
that fight. I mean, he was landing more shots. He was kind of controlling him. He had Nico on his back foot most of the fight.
Nico's just so overwhelming. He's one of those guys. He reminds me kind of like a Cody Garbrandt that's just coming at you, does not let it go.
Yeah, it was the power, man. His power for his build, his long reach, and he's kind of built weird for his size. You know, he's real lanky. You know, but he can pack. He throws a mean right hand. I think Tim Means broke his ankle and his tibia when he got knocked out. The way he fell.
The way he fell on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's terrible. I hope he recovers well on that.
Yeah. Yeah,
because Tim Means is a badass.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, not taking anything away from him, but I see Nico Price making some more noise.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I really think he's going to make some more noise in the UFC and continue to rise up a little bit.
Yeah, with his size, he could also, I feel like he could easily go to middleweight if he wanted to.
100%.
I mean, he's shredded now. He was way more shredded.
I want to see some of these guys go up, man. I'm tired of seeing all these guys cut weight. I want John Jones to go up to heavyweight, man. Go up to heavyweight. Some of these guys, especially some of these guys like just an example, TJ going down to 125. That hurt him so bad. That's not where you.
It never made
sense.
That's
not where TJ needs to be. A lot of people are saying they want to see TJ at 125 again, but I don't. I want to see them at 135.
Especially,
I see if TJ is, the same fighter he's been lately. At 135, I can see him dominating Cejudo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At 125, he was super compromised. He couldn't take little shots from Cejudo because his body was so compromised from that weight cut. And I'm tired of seeing these guys hurt their bodies with weight cuts. I really do like what ONE FC's doing.
Yeah, I was just about to bring that up.
No weight cuts.
Yeah, I like that.
Not only is it better for these fighters, but do you know how much more CT damage and stuff you get when your body's compromised?
When you're dehydrated.
You're dehydrated. Your body's compromised. These guys are taking way more damage, and we're slowly starting to see a lot of UFC guys go through a lot of stuff. CT wise, guys having strokes. I mean. A lot's going on with these guys, and I don't want to see these guys 40, 50 years old having, all these problems. I want these fighters to be, the best, as well taken care of as they can be,
Shout out to Mirko Krokop, by the way. We need to.
Yeah.
It's
sad. That dude. I hope, he recovers from that and that everything.
It's sad to see, man. Like he's a legend. I've always always been a Mirko fan.
Age, though, is just that's young.
Yeah.
That is young to have a stroke, man.
Coming right off the Roy Nelson fight.
Yeah, I'm glad he went out on a win.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm super glad he went out on a win.
But I don't think he was ready to go. He wanted to. Yeah. He still wants to fight.
He's that kind of guy, bro.
And I hope he.
But honestly, he's one of those who might have never quit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this just might be a sign from the heavens. You need to stop, bro. You need to let it go. It's time to move on.
Yeah, we don't want to see him end up like. Chuck Liddell some of these other guys.
Put your body at risk anymore. It's not worth it. He said he can't take another shot to the head anyway, so it's over for him. But
I'm glad he realizes
to a great career on him. I mean, honestly, that dude was
one of the best.
I mean, it doesn't get much better in pro.
I remember those ferocious kicks when he knocked people out with head kicks left and right. It was just
absolutely nasty, man. So I want to talk about some upcoming fights. Next week we got Masvidal.
Till.
Masvidal Till. I've been watching the UFC countdowns and stuff on this. I watched their face to face, and it's pretty intense actually.
Till's quite a bit bigger than Masvidal.
Yeah, Till's a big man.
The face to face,
he looked. Do you think about Till and the Cowboy fight? He was way bigger than Cowboy.
Oh man, that was.
The Cowboy came up from lightweight, and Till came down. That's a super big advantage.
Yeah.
I hate to see. I mean, Cowboy knows how to lose and he knows how to win.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's no thing for Cowboy. But I hated to see Cowboy lose that fight because at lightweight, Cowboy's a monster, and if he's fighting lighter guys, if you go watch that fight, I watched that fight not too long ago, and I mean, Till looks like he is Cowboy's dad. He's taller than him. He's a lot bigger than him. Bro.
Yeah.
And he dominated him pretty much most of that fight.
Yeah.
But Till
Masvidal's no punk though. I mean,
he's not. The dude's beat some high caliber fighters, and I mean I'm super ready for this fight because they're both strikers. They're both going to go in there and go at it, and that might get fight of the night.
We're looking at Till has 19 fights and Masvidal's got 45.
Yeah,
so I mean, there's a disparity there in the amount of fights, but that doesn't mean
Masvidal definitely has experience.
Oh yeah,
he's definitely got the experience, but Till is a bad man.
Oh yeah,
I mean he definitely is. If you look at his face when he's fighting, he is the most to me he's like the most focused fighter, and it's easy to talk trash about him because Woodley dominated him.
Yeah,
but
that's Woodley.
Yeah, it's Woodley. Like I mean.
I think.
But that's the thing. Till's in a good position now because Woodley's lost. If you can win against Masvidal and start coming back on another run, you might end up back in the belt.
Yeah, I think Till Usman is a good matchup.
That's not a bad matchup at all because Till's so aggressive.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. Normally Woodley is too. That's what I'm saying. Like the whole time, and even Woodley has said in his interviews, I don't know what was wrong. All I had to do was be aggressive. There was times whenever I saw a shot and I just didn't take it for some reason. I don't know why. I could have took it, but I didn't. He said Usman fights very weird, very differently. He moves very differently than other fighters, definitely. And he makes it. He gets in your face and makes you think he's going to take you down and fakes you out, and then he'll start swinging on you. Mm-hmm. So guys like that, it's hard to predict what they're going to do, and you can't. That's all Woodley was doing in that fight was waiting for that one spot, and he never could find it, and that's what cost him that fight.
That post-fight Usman speech when he said, I may not be the best striker, I may not be the best wrestler, but I'm the best when it comes to mixing this shit up.
Yeah, it's true, though.
Yeah.
I mean, he's different.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly, he said that. So, I mean...
on that UFC... Yeah, on the same card, we have Leon Edwards, Gunnar Nelson.
That'd be a good fight.
That's gonna be a really good fight. It's at welterweight co-main.
This Saturday, yeah.
And then... you got what I think maybe the dark horse of the light heavyweight division is Dominic Reyes. Nobody really talks about Dominic Reyes.
See, I haven't looked into Dominic Reyes that much. I've only seen a couple of his fights, but the ones I have seen, he's been pretty dominant.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's one of those guys you got to look out for. He's
10-0 going against Volkan Ozdemir, and I think that's going to be a good test for him.
Yeah, no, Ozdemir's a big name.
We'll see how he does against Ozdemir before we start, get on that bandwagon. Yeah, but
I mean, that's fine, bro. I mean, you got to let these guys prove themselves. I think that'll be a good fight. That's all this Saturday, huh?
Yep.
I think that'll be a really good fight. I'm ready to see where that goes because if he can make some noise against him, I think he could really start to rise up.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'd like to see what he brings. He's young, and he's got some good wins under his belt so far. So we've seen him be pretty dominant in what he can do and what he brings. So I'm interested to see what he does against Ozdemir, and we'll know, at that point, his future of the light heavyweight division. His last fight was against Ovince St. Preux at UFC 229, October of last year. The third round decision. Before that, he beat Jared Cannonier first round TKO.
So he's fought some guys. Some more upcoming fights I really want to talk about. We got Mr. Dustin Poirier, Max Holloway.
Oh man, that's gonna be
Dude, I'm so excited for that fight.
It's gonna be really fun.
Of upcoming fights, that's probably the one I'm most excited for.
Man,
Max, I freaking love Max. He's one of the most entertaining fighters that you can watch. He's so technical and so fun to watch. Poirier to me, which he's beat. Oh my God, Poirier's beat some top level guys.
Oh yeah,
very top level guys. But to me, Max Holloway going up in weight is only going to benefit him. And I think he might dominate Poirier this fight.
Yeah, that's
honestly, that's my prediction that Max is going to really dominate and show up in this fight. And then we're gonna get a Max Holloway and Khabib fight.
That would be fun.
I mean,
that'd be really fun.
I mean, come tell me about it, man. I mean, Khabib, Max Holloway, come on now. I mean, does it get any better than that? Because Max is super technical, super smart. And, it might get better than that because I want to see Tony Ferguson, Khabib as well. Those are two fights I either one of them I can't choose between how good they would be. And I still can't help but wish that Tony took the fight with Max. Because it's like the winner of that, it's like that's who fights Khabib.
I see where Tony's coming from. I mean, he deserves the Khabib fight right away.
Yeah, he shouldn't have to fight Max.
He's proven himself. He's been there. They stripped him of the title when he hurt his knee or had to have surgery.
Yeah.
So I mean, he should automatically get the fight no matter 100%. What. But I mean,
I love Tony Ferguson. He's also one of the most entertaining fighters to watch. I mean, his cardio is the most insane cardio I've ever seen. The dude does not get tired. He gets out there for 5 rounds doing whatever you want him to do on the ground. It does not matter. Tony Ferguson does not get tired. He's going to keep coming at you unless you knock him out.
And it's all functional strength workouts. Like he works up there in Big Bear, California, where he works in the mountains. All his workouts are in the mountains. He carries big boulders like up the mountain, up steps.
It's all like stuff. Farmer man work.
It's crazy.
You know what I mean?
Man.
He's a tough guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Also on that same card, you have Kelvin Gastelum, Israel Adesanya.
Kevin Gastelum. Don't let me start it on this guy. I think Kevin Gastelum is way too cocky.
Yeah.
I really do. I don't like his cockiness. Mm-hmm. Like it's not funny.
It's not the Conor cockiness.
It's not the Conor funny cockiness that everybody loves to hear. It's an annoying cockiness. Yeah. Like the kind of cocky that you just want to see him get knocked out. No offense.
Yeah.
But man, Stylebender's the guy right now to me. I mean, he is the type of guy that to me that is John Jones level.
Yeah,
Stylebender is he's so technical. He has so much that he can do in there. You know what I mean? He's the Stylebender.
Yeah, he may actually have more weapons than John.
That's what I'm saying. He's an Usman type of guy. Mm-hmm. He's gonna mix things up in there. Yeah, and he's tough.
The stuff he puts together in there is just it's crazy.
Long. He's tough. I'm gonna go with Stylebender in this fight.
Oh, for sure.
Gastelum would get absolutely wrecked by Robbie. Not Robbie. What's his name?
Robert Whittaker.
Yeah, Robert Whittaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robert Whittaker. I think would absolutely dominate Gastelum, and I think Gastelum is really lucky that Robert Whittaker was hurt in that fight.
Stylebender Whittaker is a fun fight. I don't know who to call on that one yet. We'll have to wait till that comes around. I guess try to make a pick then.
Speaking of Whittaker, man, is he okay?
As far as I know, the last I heard, he had a surgery and everything went well.
Yeah.
So
I hope so, man. I want to see him back.
Hopefully his recovery is not too far or too long.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's an absolute savage. I can't wait to see him fight again.
We skipped over Wonder Boy Pettis.
Oh, my God. I totally forgot about that fight.
Yeah, that's March 23rd.
Pettis, speaking of entertaining fighters, Pettis, man, he's been, to me, since I've been watching fights, the kick he landed off the fence.
The Showtime kick.
To knock him out. Oh, my goodness.
The kick heard around the world.
Who did he knock out? I forgot.
Edson Barboza?
Yeah. Was it Barboza?
Was it? Maybe not.
I don't know.
No, it was...
Barboza's a savage. Have they even fought?
I don't know. I think I just kind of pulled that out of my ass. Oh my God, who was that?
Barboza needs to fight soon too, though. Does he have any upcoming fights? I wonder.
Yes, he's fighting Justin Gaethje, I think.
Yes, Justin Gaethje. Yeah, I remember somebody talking about that. Yeah. That's going to be a great fight.
Let's see here.
Love watching him fight.
That Pettis Tony Ferguson fight was crazy.
Oh my God, Pettis broke his hand, didn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Bleeding all over each other.
Yeah, it was a stoppage because he broke his hand. But like that, I mean, that was a battle. Those dudes were going to war.
It was a war for sure.
Pettis was just going off on that dude. But Tony was tough. And, that's after Tony. That was Tony's fight back. And he looked really good. So, the reason I wish he took this fight is just because I want to see Tony fight. I don't want to see him getting stagnant, not taking fights.
Definitely.
Which, he's proven that he doesn't have to be consistent to be good. So,
Benson Henderson is who the Showtime kicked. Benson Henderson.
That's who he knocked out?
Yeah.
Damn. Pettis. I love Anthony Pettis, bro.
Dude,
he's so much fun to watch.
Yeah, he's one of the most fun to watch.
I want to see, but Wonderboy, man, his
style.
Wonderboy is so much. He's a lot to handle. He is such a good striker. He's so good.
That awkward movement and awkward style.
I mean, he's been said to have the most awkward movement in the fight game.
I would agree.
Who's Wonderboy lost to?
He's only got 3 losses. I think 2 of them were to Woodley.
Yeah, I mean, he got dominated by Woodley. But Wonderboy,
he also lost to Till. You remember that?
Yes. Those are like his only losses, I think.
I think 2 to Woodley, 1 to Till.
I mean, that there's levels to this shit, but Wonderboy is...
he had a draw with Woodley the first fight.
That's true. I remember that.
Woodley beat him the second fight.
Yeah. But Wonderboy is, to me, is still a dark horse because people don't really talk about Wonderboy as much anymore.
His other loss was to Matt Brown 7 years ago.
That's a long
decision.
Time. That's a long time.
And he's gotten a lot better since then too.
Yeah, he's been in the game for a while too. He's got experience. He's fought guys like Woodley. So to me, he's gonna be a hard one to get past.
Definitely.
So but that's an amazing fight. Pettis and Wonderboy. I'm super excited for that.
Yeah, that's super fun.
I can't believe I forgot about that fight. There's so many good fights coming up that it's hard to remember all of them.
Yeah, on Saturday, I think it's 3 weeks on March 30th, the ESPN UFC on ESPN, the Edson Barbosa, Justin Gaethje. You also got David Branch, Jack Hermanson, and Josh Emmett, Michael Johnson on that fight.
Barbosa. Oh, Michael Johnson's fighting?
Yeah.
Ooh, I can't wait for that.
Josh Emmett, the dude with the crazy tattoos.
I haven't watched him fight in a while.
And then you got Carolina, I don't know how to say her last name, and Karate Hottie.
Oh, yeah, Karate Hottie. I like watching Karate Hottie.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Karate Hottie. Yeah, she's super hot.
But, yeah, Justin Gaethje and Barbosa. Barbosa's kicks are the nastiest kicks I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, he is.
Like, honestly, Barbosa is a savage with the kicks. I'm ready to see him. I'm ready to see that fight. I want to see what Barbosa can do because he's had a lot of talk over the past year or so, and if he can continue to dominate, I think Barbosa is going to continue to get better.
Definitely.
And better.
He's been in the game for a minute too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Barbosa's been around.
That's a few weeks out. We'll talk more about that when it gets closer. I just was scrolling through and saw it.
When are we going to get a Conor McGregor fight? Ever?
If he quit getting in trouble.
I mean, what's the dude doing?
I don't know.
He's out here.
He's got so much money
because they're videoing him smashing the phones.
He's got so much money.
I love watching Conor fight. I almost hate that he's turned into the freaking multimillionaire that doesn't give a shit because the Conor that was a savage that was trying so hard to rise to the top was, the
Conor that loved to fight.
Yeah.
He was doing it because he loved it. He wasn't really in it for the money in the beginning, and then the money came, and
and the way what I don't understand is like what's making me disappointed in Conor is like that. He hasn't fought yet, which at least he's talking about it. At least he's interacting with the community and showing that he wants to be a part of the fight game. But it's like by now, man, there should be a fight book for you. You know what I mean? After that loss to Khabib, there should be a fight book for you already.
He should be fighting Cowboy.
Yeah, and you shouldn't.
But UFC wants to make it a co-main. Like, come on, UFC.
Yeah, exactly. And you should.
What are you doing?
Yeah, there's no point. Like, it's Conor McGregor. Why would you make it a co-main? He's made you the most money of any fighter ever. There's no reason to ever put him on a co-main event. But I want to see him fight again because if you really want to be a part of the fight game and be a legend.
Sorry about that.
If you really want to.
Yeah, I like to say, man, once you. I forget who made the quote. I was trying to look it up, but it's hard to wake up and get punched in the face when you're sleeping in silk sheets.
Right.
Conor's got all this money and his whiskey is taking off, and he's making so much money off his whiskey.
Why would you want to get hit in the face?
I'm not sure I would.
It's like he came back to fight Khabib. It's like, but at the same time, he knew he was going to make money off of that. So to me, it's like he knows every time he fights in the UFC, it's money. It's just more money for him. And so it's like to me, I don't want that to be him only fighting for money because if he comes in and loses and gets embarrassed again. It's not going to look good on him. Yeah. You're going to end up looking like a sellout, bro.
He's always had a lot of people who didn't like him from the beginning, and when he's losing, that just gives them all the more reason to hate on him,
Yeah.
And I don't want to see it like that. I've always been a Conor fan, and I like to see him when he's winning. I want to see him get back to his winning ways. He was one of the most fun fighters to watch when he was knocking everybody out.
Exactly.
The Jose Aldo fight surprised everyone. This dude hadn't lost in 10 years. He'd been running the division for so long, and then he gets knocked out in 16 seconds because Connor's just his timing is so good.
Yeah, it was impeccable at the time, and I don't want to see him. I want to see like a Cowboy fight or something, because he could definitely take Cowboy. He could definitely be Cowboy, and he needs a fight like that to get back in the swing of things if he wants to be that guy.
Dude, how about Paulie Malignaggi signing with Bare Knuckle Boxing FC?
Dude, I'm not sure how I feel about that, to be honest with you, because I mean, what does Bare Knuckle Boxing have to offer you? What are you getting out of that? You're getting absolutely nothing out of it.
Yeah, I don't see it, man. I don't think
isn't he a boxing commentator?
Yeah, he boxes commentator for Showtime.
Yeah, for Showtime. I mean, you haven't made already, and from what I've seen his commentating, he's amazing.
Yeah, he's one of the best.
He's a super good commentator. He's like a Rogan type of commentator.
Yeah,
he's really
knows,
good and explains the fight game really good.
He knows it so well because he was such a high level boxer that he knows. He's very very good at explaining. He's well spoken.
Do you love fighting that much?
I
you want to go bare knuckle box with people?
I don't understand it, man. I mean,
in a place that you're not going to make any money. I mean,
it must not.
Compared to, I guarantee you, there's no way he's not making more money. He's not going to make more money bare knuckle boxing than he is at Showtime.
Yeah, there's no way it's about
he's
the money.
He's probably got a cushy job at Showtime. Why would you want to go fight? I mean, it literally, and I mean, I don't have that fire to fight like these guys, but I mean, I can't imagine why you want to.
I feel like he feels like he's got something to prove. Which I don't know why. I mean, he was a world champion. He was such a high-level boxer, and he's a great commentator. Like, bro, just I don't know, man.
I think I don't know. I mean, I'll watch him fight 100%.
Yeah.
I'll watch him bare knuckle box, but if he goes in there and doesn't just look like an absolute savage, then I'm gonna be like, well, what are you doing?
Yeah, and they're saying
you better come in there prepared. And also. I see where he supposedly starting his own podcast, or he already has.
He's had a podcast for a while, but I think he just doesn't. He didn't put out.
What if this is something to kind of give him maybe a little press, or bring people to his podcast? I don't know.
It's possible, but that's a weird route to do.
It's a very weird route. Like, why would you want to do that? I can't understand it, man.
Yeah, I mean, like Shah was saying, if he focused on the podcast, he can make way more money doing that full time than he would going and getting punched in the face by Arnold Lobov.
He has a following. People know who he is. He can make money 100% off podcasting.
Yeah, and he's got to be making good money with Showtime. I mean, those guys they don't get paid peanuts.
Brendan Schaub's making a lot of money through Showtime. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
So I don't know what to think about that, but hopefully things go good for him.
It's interesting. It'll be fun to see, but I'm not sure.
I hope whatever he has planned works out for him. But I guess if he still has a job at Showtime, he'll be fine.
Yeah, as long as he's not getting punched in the face too much, and
getting some CT and not knowing what to say on the freaking
exactly
while he's commentating.
Yeah,
dude, don't screw up your life. Don't get punched in the head for no reason.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, what do you think? First podcast?
I think it sounds pretty good, man.
I think we had a good one. Let us know what y'all think about the first pod. This is just a test run. We kind of wanted to feel each other out and see kind of how it was going to go. But we seem a lot more comfortable now, and things seem a lot better now.
Oh yeah, we've talked about a lot of this stuff already, so we're just kind of rehashing our previous discussions for the pod. So
but we love talking about the fight game and upcoming fights and things going on, and we're in that world every day. So
As we record more of these and week to week, we'll do them without discussing too much beforehand, so it won't be so, like we're rehashing it.
Yeah, we don't have to introduce ourselves anymore.
Talking about it over.
People will know who we are, and I think it was a great pod. And anybody listens to this, thank you very much, and we really appreciate it. And we'll be back again. And if you enjoy listening to us and you want to keep listening to us, give us a review.
Yeah, you can follow us on Instagram at Untrained Experts Podcast. Made a page. We haven't really posted anything yet, but we'll be getting some stuff out.
Yeah, we're going to continue to put out content and continue to flood the podcast world and the media world. Yeah,
I'm not sure where these will be going just yet. We're going to be putting it out through Podbean, so probably pretty much any platform should get it.
Should be Apple Podcast, pretty much any podcast platform you should be able to find it on. We'll try to make sure it's on Spotify and stuff too.
Yeah, and I'm gonna work on getting the YouTube page together so we can try to put it on there too, and we'll have links posted on the Instagram, so everybody can find it.
100%.
All right.
I guess that's how we're gonna close this one out, guys. Hope everybody has a good day.
All right, we'll see y'all. Peace.